Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Health Transformers. My name is Becky Longacre. I'm your nurse gone coach, and this is the second of 7 video series that I'm doing. It's Empathic NursePreneur Bootcamp, where I speak specifically to nurses that are empathic nurses, and so we, as empathic nurses, we have a superpower that the general population does not have. And if you want to learn more about what we have to offer as empathic nurses, I do have a link in the description that you can click on and you can get more information about that superpower and how important it is to trust that superpower in terms of what you have to offer for patients and clients. So we tend to be introverted. We tend to be sensitive, and this sometimes means that we're overlooked because we're not showy and we're quieter than our counterparts. We feel our feelings a little bit more maybe than our counterparts, but that makes us emotional and intelligent beings. So watch the video so that you can learn more about what an empathic nurse is and the superpower that we have that we bring to the table for clients and also patients. So this video is for people that are ready to be serious about moving forward with a health and wellness business. So nurses that they've either gotten a certification or they want to start a business being a coach, consultant, or care coordinator. That's my knowledge base. And they want to sort of move through some of the fear and maybe sometimes just the lack of skill set or the knowledge base that it takes to launch a business. So this is day 2 out of 7 boot camp for empathic nursepreneurs. Becky Longacre, nurse gone coach. I started my business from my nursing experience and then my own patient journey. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel to learn more about that. My own patient journey involving, losing weight, healing back pain, healing anxiety that was based out of trauma, and getting my ulcerative colitis into remission. So subscribe if you want to learn more about that. So the topic of this video is give yourself time. Give yourself time. So if you're serious about opening and running a business as an empathic nursepreneur, then you're in it for the long haul, right? So if you're serious about this, you're in it for the long haul. So that means that there's a certain amount of patience you gotta practice. And it also means that strategy is super, super important. So you want to give yourself time and space to develop what it is that you're doing as a business. Who do you serve? What is your ideal client base? What's your payment structure? What do your programs look like or your services? Who are your networks that you need to tap into for mutually beneficial referrals and all that? So it takes time to develop these things. And what I said in the previous video and what I'll say 1,000 times again is it doesn't matter what Susie Q is doing. It doesn't matter what another entrepreneur is doing. If you are a nurse coach, consultant, or nurse care coordinator, then what works for your business might be a little bit different than someone else. How you market might be different than someone else. I was actually talking with someone, she's an independent contractor that helps me with my business, and she didn't really like the whole social media situation. And so I told her, if that doesn't resonate with you, then increase the visibility by doing other things. Increase your visibility by posting flyers, by going to the library, by putting on talks, by in-person networking. You can increase your visibility in other ways other than social media. And in fact, it's a lot more powerful to do in-person networking than it is just by social media. So it takes time to develop your ideal client, your policies, your payment structures. Are you going to operate out of an office? Are you going to operate from your home? Taxes takes all time. It all takes time. And so I ask that people are patient with themselves. I also caution. So there's 1,000 people on the internet, on social media, that are going to say, you can make $100,000 in the first 3 months. And I just caution you to think about the realistic, achievable goal. That $100,000, it has to come from somewhere. Do you have a system in place that supports that path? Is that realistic? There's a lot of get rich quick tactics online, and it's not always based in fact. In fact, most of it is absolute bullshit, to be honest. And this is something that my business coach has reinforced with me. So don't listen to the bullshit. It takes time to plant the seeds. So you're going to do a lot of strategy. You're going to put yourself out there, and you're not immediately going to get a return on your effort or a return on your investment. And so be patient with yourself and just know that just like a little seedling, it has to develop roots before you can see it come out of the surface. Business growth is the same. So what's really important is that you make those connections in the community. What's also really important is you take time to take care of yourself so that you're showing up authentically. I also suggest that people keep their jobs. So there are so many entrepreneurs that leave their job before they have any sort of income coming in. And it's good, it's good to have a dream, but how are you going to get there? There are a lot of nurse entrepreneurs that jump ship. So they stop working and they go full in. They don't have a system in place. The business isn't paying bills yet, and they go full in. So I'm going to caution you with that thinking. When you keep your job, this is from Mel Robbins, when you keep your job, when you start a business and titrate your hours down while you grow your business, you're 30% more likely to stay in business 5 years down the road. So again, is this just a quick thing, or are you in it for the long haul? Are you serious? Are you going to take yourself seriously? So be compassionate with yourself. Have patience that it's going to take some time to develop your ideal client base, your policies, your payment structures, where your office is going to be. Have a growth mindset. So I've had to pivot. So when I first started my business, it was a certain model, a certain framework. And the long and the short of it is when I started to really hash things out, I really focused on coaching. So I focused on coaching, weight loss coaching, personal development. And out of that naturally evolved business coaching for nurses and other health and wellness entrepreneurs. And this other service that I had offered, there's a couple of services actually that it wasn't successful. And so I let it go. So having the ability to take the time to review what's actually working, what's giving you a return on your investment, and the ability to pivot is really helpful. I do have on my website, I have a link to this. On my website, I have a link to request a business startup checklist to help you sort of get organized in terms of time it takes to develop a business, what you want to achieve by month 1, what you want to achieve by month 3, what do you want to achieve in month 6, month 9, in the year mark, to initially sort of, because a lot of things are going to shift. You're going to find out what works for you. You're going to find out what doesn't work for you. So you can go, there's a link in the description to get to my website and download that or request to get the business startup checklist. That would help you. That's going to help you to get started. So don't listen, and I said this in the other video, and I'll say this again a lot of times. So don't listen to negative people. And don't pay attention if someone else, so some entrepreneurs are bullshit artists and they overinflate things. I have a personal story actually, where an entrepreneur sort of overinflated how well he was doing, and he ended up committing suicide. And he was in a lot of debt because of whatever was going on. He just couldn't be honest with how he was doing. So pay attention to the people that are winning. Pay attention to the people that are real, the people that are going to give you measurable steps towards achieving your successful business goals. Don't listen to negative people. The people have a limited mindset, their own limiting beliefs about starting and operating a business, but then also be realistic. Look at your schedule. So when you're still working and you have opened a business, you're operating a business, look at your time and your schedule. Are you actually putting effort into your business? I have another story with that, where a nurse, she said she wanted to be a nurse coach, but she was not putting time into developing her business. If you don't make it a priority, it's not going to be a priority. So what are you doing with your schedule? And is it busy work, or is it strategy? Is it actually moving you forward? The things that I define as things moving me forward are, I have a connection in the community that is either helping me develop a skill set, or it's a referral partner, so it's a collaboration opportunity. It's a speaking engagement, so it's getting me in front of my audience. Or it's, a direct return on investment financially, meaning I'm closing business, I'm getting clients. And then there's also self-care, return on investment, because I need to show up. I need to be happy and healthy in order to help other people. And then taking care of the family and the household too. So what are you doing with your schedule? Are you devoting, say, 10 hours per week to this business to get started? And then within that 10 hours per week, let's say it's 10, what are you doing to move forward? I said this before and I'll say it again. Visibility plus credibility is profitability. What are you doing every day to help with that equation? Opening and running and growing a business, it's a simple principle, but we overcomplicate it. Just like we overcomplicate health and mental health, we overcomplicate business growth too. All you got to do is get in front of people, enthusiastically talk about how it is that you help them, and then make an offer. So I'm going to be doing a whole other video on mindset, moving through self-sabotage, because that's another big part of launching and growing a business. So what are you doing with your time? That's the topic of this video. Give yourself time, first of all, to develop all the things that you need to run a successful business, develop your client base, allow yourself to learn, because it's not going to be perfect. Allow yourself to feel frustrated, because it's going to be a different skill set. Give yourself time to learn the skill set of running a business. We come from nursing and healthcare. We might be fantastic coaches, but running a business, you have to do the marketing, the sales, you have to do the financial aspect of things. So give yourself time to learn these different skill sets. Pay attention to people that are winning. Have a growth mindset. Learn from your mistakes. And know that it's not anybody is perfect. So I hope you've gotten something out of this video. This is day 2 of 7, Empathic NursePreneur Bootcamp. I hope to see you in day 3. Please leave comments. Let me know how this helped you. Take care.